Hello, my name is Kevin Nowak. I work with Rockwell Automation. And today we're going to go over a number of different products that we have here at the show showing, and we're going to utilize our partners here with Reynolds to kind of go over each one of these products individually.
Hey, thanks, Kevin. Name is Roger McClary, one of the automation specialists with the Reynolds company here at the Waco Trade Show. Catfish was really good today, and maybe we're going to talk about some of the products today.
My name is Grant Bussey. I'm an automation specialist with the Reynolds company based out of Waco, Texas.
All right, so hey, let's take a look at the first products that we have here. Hey, Roger, I see the PowerFlex 525.
Yes.
What applications do we use on a lot of that type of product?
525 is more of a smaller horsepower. It's only rated up to 30 horsepower, so it's going to be more of a general purpose, low horsepower drive. If all I'm needing to do is really just turn a motor very efficiently and with some added features, this is probably a lower cost entry of our PowerFlex family of drives.
Okay. And you know, that's great. My question is can we go ahead and connect that to the Ethernet? Can we put it on a network?
Sure can. The 525 comes standard with a 100 meg Ethernet port on it. I can add a dual Ethernet port if I need to for DLR or multiple communications if I will. The 523 is its little brother. It's a lower cost drive, but you don't have the Ethernet port on there. You can add one, but then that really comes at the price with the 525.
The equal to the
dollar amount. Yes.
But it provides the flexibility, and if you don't need it, you don't have to go ahead and offer that.
And it's not as feature rich. It's more of a low entry, standalone kind of drive because it can't do full flux vector and some feedback features that the 525 can.
And how do you configure that drive? Do you configure it specifically through this HIM on the module, or do you have any type of programming software?
You can, if you have a lot of patience and really good eyes, you can use the HIM. I recommend the free, I know it's Rockwell, it's very difficult to say sometimes, free Connected Components Workbench software. You can actually Google it right now and go download it. I don't recommend downloading it over a dial-up modem because it's 4.6 gig in size. But it will do all of our drives, some of our safety guard logics, our micro 820s, 850s. Extremely feature rich and powerful. In fact, when I do a drive startup, that's the software that I use.
The next product that we have here is actually the PowerFlex 755 TS.
Yes.
TS. I've seen 755s for a number of years. What makes this a TS? It even looks different.
It does. It has a different form factor. It still takes advantage of our mature, if we will, PowerFlex 755, 753 family. Okay. What we've done is we've gone in there and added a bunch of new features. The T stands for total force, and the S you could think of as a system drive, because now I have things called adaptive tuning, to where once I've entered the motor parameters and you push start, the drive from that point on is literally learning the application. And say I have a bearing that's maybe wearing a little bit, it can actually change some of the gain parameters to compensate for that. We have things like sway control for like overhead cranes. What I like about it is literally the information in here. I have now predictive maintenance information. No longer do I tell you that your fan's been running at this amount of time, that the IGBT's been firing for this amount of time. If you drive one of the newer cars, it tells you, hey, it's time to change the oil.
Correct.
Not by mileage, but by how hard am I working the car, what's the temperature, what speed am I going. The drive does the same thing for many of the major power components. The IGBTs, the SCRs, the caps, power capacitors, that's all internal.
Okay.
It will tell you based on, and you can use this information inside of CCW, Connected Components Workbench software. You can actually look at, is my drive healthy? And it can actually then, it can literally email you or somebody that says, hey, this capacitor is reaching the end of life. So no more now do I get called out at 2 o'clock in the morning. I can now schedule a Monday morning breakdown, if you will, downtime to replace the components in the drive. Yes.
Definitely helping on the plant floor. I see, since it's a new drive and you talk about all this additional functionality, what about if I have a current 755T drive or 755 drive, what about the I/O cards and the HIM module? Do I have to buy all brand new I/O cards and HIM modules?
That's a great question, Kevin. No, you don't. They are 100% compatible and changeable. And the neat thing about that is if you have a 755 and you've created what's called an add-on profile in the ControlLogix or CompactLogix controller, this one has a different add-on profile. But what you can do is install this drive, and until you're ready, to make that hard switch over, I can go in there and set a parameter in here and basically tell the Compact Logics, hey, I'm a 755. I'm not a 755 TS. So it is literally 100% drop in until you're ready to take advantage of all those feature-rich offerings.
So you say until we're ready. So
You
what
make
does
the
that
decision.
mean about the 755? Is that product still available, or is this now going to replace it and it's my current 755 is no longer available?
Like any product, it has a lifespan. The 755 and 753 drives have been out for about 10 plus years now. They're what we call active. They are soon to go what we call active mature, meaning you can still buy them, they're still supported, but when you look at the advantages of the TS, oh yeah, and the cost of the TS is exactly very close to the 755.
Really?
Yes. So I'm getting a whole lot more. I'm getting a Cadillac for the price of a Toyota, if I could use that analogy. So it's a feature-rich drive, so you're going to want to migrate to this, and then the customers are going to pretty well tell us when it's time not to go with the 755.
Well, Roger, that's really good information. I want to thank you very much for the time spent reviewing the two different drives that we have here.
Very much. You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And we're here with Grant Bussey, one of the specialists for Reynolds. And Grant, we actually here have the Micro 800 family. And this is obviously on our smaller scale of automation controllers, smaller from where we talk about our Compact Logics or our Control Logics controllers. Speaking of scalability, how many offerings do we have in this scale? How small can I go and how large can I go?
Yeah, so we have 4 PLCs in the Micro 800 family, the 810, 820, 850, and 870. As you go up in number, you'll have more memory and I/O on the controller. And the kind of piggybacking on that, the 810 only has USB communications, whereas the 820, 850, and 870 all have USB, serial, and Ethernet capabilities.
So even on a small scale product, you have the versatility in the different types of applications and communication then.
Correct.
Okay. What about connecting to other component products like our component panel view and our component drives?
Yeah, so all 4 of the Micro 800 PLCs can connect to our components panel views and to our components drives, the 523 or the 525. That is all done on the free software, Connected Components Workbench, CCW. The drives, components drives can be added onto CCW, not as a add-on profile, but pretty close to it, where you just go on, select a feature, and you're able to add it direct.
Excellent. Well, hey, thank you very much for that brief introduction, and look forward to seeing a lot more of that in the market.
Yeah,
thank you.
Thank you.
The final product discussion today is actually with Jesse Harvey, one of our specialists over here at the Reynolds Company. And today we're going to actually talk about some of our new Compact Logics and some of our distributed I/O products. Jesse, why don't you tell us what we have here in terms of the controller?
So we've got a new 5380 Compact Logics. It's been out for three plus years. It's our new Compact Logics platform. Bolt number is a 5069, and you can see it's got the normal key switch inside, an SD card. The I/O attaches to the side of it. We've got, I don't know, from a 306 that'll handle 8 local I/O cards up to a 340 ERM, I think it is, and it'll handle up to 31 local I/O cards. And it's all basically segregated by the number of I/O cards you want to add to it and the memory of the processor itself. So each processor variant can connect to a certain number of remote I/O adapters. So the 306 can connect to 16 remote I/O adapters. So that'd be 16 sets of I/O blocks sitting in the field. Next to it, we've got our PanelView 5000 line of operator interfaces. There's 2 variants of that, the 5310 and the 5510, and it's all about functionality, number of Ethernet ports, and segregates between the 2 products.
Hey, that's a great overview. I guess I have a couple of questions. Can we go back and take a couple of questions? In terms of the new Compact Logics, in terms of if I have a device level ring, do I need an extra card for communication, or is it actually built into the processor?
Excellent question. On the new Compact Logics 5380, 5069s, there's actually 2 Ethernet ports in the bottom, similar to the 1769 that had 2 Ethernet ports on the bottom. but the 1769 only had a single MAC at it, only had a single NIC. So the 5069 actually has 2 different MAC addresses, so you can set them up for 2 different IPs. So if you wanted a plant level IP and you wanted a WAN level IP or a local machine level IP, you can segregate it there instead of having to buy another device for that.
And that actually goes, you had mentioned 1769, and I see here that we've got the Flex 5000 here along with the new controller. What if I currently have existing 1769 IO or 1794 modules on the Flex? Can I use those on this current product, or do I have to buy new modules?
So if you had 1769 IO on an old 1769 controller, then we can use that 1769 IO as a remote IO adapter, but it can't plug in to the current controller. And it's the same with the 5094 Flex 5000. You can tell once you pull out a module, on the 1794 IO, we had a bunch of pins that we always bent in the back. Now we've actually got boards. So you can't put a 1794 in place of a 5094, but we can use a 1794 Ethernet adapter and talk to the Compact Logics. But the caveat is the 5094 has to talk to the new Compact Logics, or it has to talk to the L8 Control Logics processors.
So that's really good that we don't have to rip and replace everything. We can still keep it and expand the extra module.
That is correct.
Now, what about programming software? What are the limitations in terms of, we said that we have to utilize the Flex 5000 and the new controllers have to be of the same software. Is it Studio 5000? Is there, can I go back and use the same programming software that I did previously?
Yes. So if you had a 1769 chassis or any control, RS Logix 5000, Studio 5000, we can upgrade, we can step forward with that software to the latest versions. Today, the latest version is version 35. Next week, it's going to be version 36. But we can program the Compact Logics with that. And the beauty of the PanelView 5000s is we can program the PanelView 5000 within the Studio 5000 software on the View Designer version of it. So if anybody's got Studio 5000, you open it up, the first prompt it asks you, what are you building a project on? It's not the PanelView Plus software, but it is our Studio 5000 View Designer software.
But we literally are now utilizing one package for both the controller and the visualization product.
That is correct.
Excellent on the hardware side.
And thanks everybody for tuning in and joining us at the Waco Reynolds Company Trade Show. If you have any questions, please reach out to your local office, your local specialist. Thank you very much and have a good day.